Is it a Super Hornet or a Classic Hornet?
This one will be a Super Hornet. Originally flown in 1978.
Hello, I am Kobe from Hearns Hobbies, and this is...
Nelly.
Nelly, there we go. And welcome to an unboxing. Today we will be unboxing the FA-18 Hornet. Is it a Super Hornet or a Classic Hornet?
This one will be a Super Hornet today.
There you go. So, what can you tell me about this aircraft?
Well, originally flown in 1978.
That was when it was first tested, right?
Yeah.
That was the test flight.
Yes. Its top speed is Mach 1.6.
That's correct. 1.6. Yeah, so it has a top speed of Mach 1.6, which is lower than the original Classic Hornet.
Yeah, the original actually only goes higher to 1.8.
Actually, I believe the Classic Hornet was test flown in 1978. The Super Hornet was flown later, and it was designed to take over the F-14.
Right.
Which I've got a model of one of those.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, that's the naval strike aircraft that they specially designed missiles for. And it's not in use anymore, except for in Iran.
Nice.
Let's take a look in the box. The F-18 Super Hornet is a fighter attack aircraft and it was designed to replace the carrier-based aircraft F-14 Tomcat. This one is a part of the Puking Dogs squadron, which was established in the 1950s, and it first made its debut in the Korean War. The Puking Dogs have had an array of aircraft throughout their time as a squadron, starting with the F-4U Corsair, which was an aircraft designed in the 40s for the Second World War, moving up to the F-9F Panther, carrier assault aircraft, and then the F-3H Demon, the F-4 Phantom, which is a very famous aircraft. It was during the Vietnam War, which the Puking Dogs probably flew in. That was the aircraft that made Top Gun.
Oh, very nice.
So, after the Second World War, the pilots didn't know how to dogfight. So the Koreans had an advantage over them in the mid-15s because the philosophy of dogfighting had left. The Americans thought they could just fire missiles and shoot down planes, whereas the Koreans would sneak up on them and shoot them down from behind. So they created Top Gun to teach the pilots how to dogfight again. And then the group, the Puking Dogs, had the F-14 Tomcat, which is a very, very famous Cold War aircraft, designed around the same time as the Classic Hornet. And then that was retired due to monetary requirements and budget in the Navy, and they replaced it with the Super Hornet, which we are looking at today. And this is a beginner kit. Would you believe it? Looking at this, would you think that this is a beginner kit?
No, actually, it's got a lot of pieces.
It does have quite a few pieces.
Yeah.
It's a beginner kit because it can virtually snap together.
Oh, right.
You don't even need glue for this one, really.
Oh, interesting.
You can snap the whole model together. We do recommend glue when building this kit, but it is not required.
No.
And this is a little special video because we've got Avalon Air Show coming up.
Yes, tomorrow we are going.
We're going to the Avalon Air Show, and we will see these doing a demonstration with the RAAF. So they'll be flying in a formation of 4, and they're actually flying right now. Today. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, the day after.
And Sunday.
Avalon is a huge event in Avalon.
In Avalon?
Yeah, it's in Avalon.
Really?
Yeah, it's in Avalon. So yeah, we thought we'd do an unboxing on this one, just for a bit of post Avalon content when this comes out.
Yes.
So we'll have a look into this. If you enjoyed the show as much as Nell and I will enjoy the show, come and get an F-18 Super Hornet, because you've seen them. Or another one. So this is the plastic that you get. You get 4 bags, which contain 3. You get 3 bags.
3 bags.
Which contain approximately 9 sprues, which is the part holders. And we'll quickly go through the instructions. So that's the manual 2. We want to start on manual 1. So you have all of your paints here.
Yeah.
So we'll zoom in there on those. So these are your paints. If you need to figure out what colour to paint it, what colour would you paint it?
Pink.
Pink! not the conventional grey that
No.
you'd usually see, Super Hornet, but you paint it pink.
Yeah. I'd paint it pink. Why? Because it's not going to fly in the sky, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, that's right, it's a model and it is up to your interpretation how you will paint it. But let's go through the assembly and have a look at what we're starting with. So funnily enough, you're starting with the fuselage and the wings. So the fuselage are molded to the wings. And you'll be putting this in. Does not require glue, but we recommend it. So you could build this just after buying it off the shelf, which is pretty cool. And then you're going into step 2, which again isn't anything to do with the cockpit. It's to do with the engine bays and the gear bays. And you're coming through here. This is a sensor for your missiles.
Very nice.
Yep, so, and for your bombs as well. If you've seen Top Gun Maverick,
I have.
they're in there as well. The sensor goes wild on the aircraft. You got your landing gear going in, and then you're putting that all together with the vertical stabilizers.
Nice.
That's what they're called. And then we move over into the cockpit. So you've got the ejection seat.
Yes.
What does that do?
Well, if your plane's ever about to crash, you got to get out of it.
Yeah.
So that's what it does.
So you pull on a handle, and the rocket propels you out of the aeroplane.
Yeah.
And you pull like something like 10 Gs.
And then you
Getting out of
thank
there.
to God.
That you're alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that your parachute works.
And then we move over into the aft part of the cockpit, the nose cone, the horizontal stabilizers, and some of the gear doors going in, which all just snap together. They all just kind of fit in place. What else have we got? Wheels,
Nice. Needed.
needed. Or you can pose it wheels up if you want,
True.
as if it was flying. And that's that one. So that's the first manual. And then the second manual goes into the bombs and missiles. So this aircraft carries an array of weapons. Being fighter attack,
Yep.
that means that there's multiple roles this aircraft can undertake. So you've got your missiles on these pylons for shooting down aircraft and other weapons on the ground, and then you've got bombs for infantry support, and it also has a gun, so it can shoot down and dogfight. So then you're pretty much placing those on the model. What's this one?
Missile.
It's a fuel tank. That's an external fuel tank. It's called a drop tank. So a drop tank is designed to carry a lot more fuel for the aircraft to fly longer distances. So the aircraft that we'll see at Avalon,
Yes.
they will have them because they're coming from America.
Yeah.
So America, if they're coming over from like Guam, which is a big Air Force base, they will often have a refueler in the air. So they have a dedicated plane that you'll see
That's cool.
that has a boom on the back of it that they fill up in the air out of.
Right.
So yeah, not only will they
That's
have these, but they'll also have the tanker there that has refilled them on their trip over. And then we have this. This is a very important aspect of the plane. Now Australia, we don't use these in the Navy, but they're still important. Do you know what this part is?
No.
This is the arrestor hook. It arrests you. You go, I'm going. All yours there. This is for landing on a carrier. So, as you can see here in the box, it's currently about to land, and this little line here is down ready to catch on the carrier so that it doesn't fly off the end. And then if it's going to crash on the ground, they'll suspend a wire and it'll catch it so it slows it down.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, and you got your canopy.
Yeah.
Good for seeing out of.
Of course.
Protection as well against bird strikes and wind.
Yeah.
And this is called a heads-up display, which will be molded in clear, and that projects information in front of the pilot up on a little screen, so he can see out the front of the aircraft, but he's also getting information right where he's looking.
That's cool.
So for a bit of multitasking, and these are all the parts that you're going to get in the model. There.
Nice.
What can you tell me about this? What would this be?
What? The page?
Yeah, what's on here?
Just has all the parts. Painting and decal placement.
There you go. So this is how you paint it,
Yes.
right? And then what's a decal?
Like the stickers.
Like the stickers. But not stickers because you have to dip them in water and slide them on. Here you have your decals.
Yeah.
So you get 2 schemes in this aircraft, in this one.
Yeah.
You know what a scheme is?
Nope.
So a scheme is like the type of aircraft.
Right.
So this would be classified the first scheme, which would be low visibility. So it's when it doesn't want to be seen. And then your second scheme is high visibility.
So that would be the pink one, right?
That would be. You're right. That would be the pink one for you.
Yeah.
No. So the high visibility is for parades or for when they're not in combat.
Yeah.
So it's just you can see the tail better.
Of course.
They look cooler. They kind of go wild on the paint jobs. Like here, you can see there is a claw for the Puking Dogs. So it's like a panther, right? If you zoom in here, look at that. See the claw? So they've clawed like right down the side of the aircraft with paint.
Yeah.
So you could do that, and then obviously the tail is blue, and there's a scratch up above the top as well. Do you want to know a fun fact about the Puking Dogs?
Sure.
Okay. Let me turn this down a little bit, or turn it up a little bit. I don't know. The Puking Dogs, in the 50s, or the 60s I believe, when they first started, one of the pilot's wives was at the bar, and she saw the emblem, and she said, "Oh my god," they were just called like the dogs, and she's like, "Oh my god, looks like it's Pukin." She said, "Oh my god, it's Pukin," and so that was the nickname there for the Puking Dogs because the dog looked like it's throwing up. So yeah, and then in the 90s they banned the pilots and the Navy from calling them Puking Dogs. They thought it was crude, so they went back to dogs, but then it switched back. And now there's the Puking Dogs again. They have deemed it quite funny. So there you go, that is the high visibility with the claws, and then your low visibility, which is for actual operations and missions, which is pretty cool there. Shall we have a look at the decals?
Yes, we shall.
We shall. Do you want to talk about these ones?
Nope.
Why not? What do you think? Do you think they look good?
Yeah, I do think they look good.
You'd be right, because Academy have done a really nice job moulding them to the point you could almost read the stencils. Like very, very clear, like it says F-18E, Puking Dogs, you can read that there. Once it stops shaking, you know. It's all very nice register, as we say.
That's very good.
And you can see all the cockpit switches and dials. So you dip these in water, and then you slide them onto the model. That's how you apply a decal. Alright, and they are in fact printed by Cardiograph, which if you are in the model world, they are some of the most premium decals you can get. They're very, very thin register, and they're very, very nice quality detail. So there you go, printed by Cardiograph. Do you have anything else to add about the F-18?
Nope.
The Super Hornet? You can catch the Super Hornet in Brisbane at the River Fire. They fly through the river along the windy banks. You can also catch them out at AAF Amberley and Williamstown sometimes. You can also catch them at Avalon Air Show. You can catch them at most big air shows around Australia. And yeah, classic aircraft. Everyone knows a Hornet just like the Spitfire.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, thank you for joining us on this unboxing. I'm Kobe.
I'm Nelly.
And we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you in store soon. Cheers guys.